to all the ladies in the place with Soul and Grace. Welcome back to another episode of Soul and Grace. I'm your host, Danielle. You would not know that if you're new here, but if you are not new here, you already know who I am. How are y'all doing today, tonight, this morning? How you doing? I'm just imagining like y'all are responding with so much positivity and optimism and just some real positivity, because I swear I just somehow, even though my feeds are tailored to what I would like to think of as positive and like shit that I like, baby, y'all videos of y'all little videos are coming across my timeline. So I'm just really hoping, if you are listening here, you've been listening to the past episodes and you at least have a little light now, right? We in season 2, you got a little light. You feel a little light, you know what I mean? Not 100%, but you at least 60 or up. And nothing less at this point. Because if not by what's planned out for season 2, if y'all are not 100%, and you're not in therapy, and you're not like, you haven't gone to seek professional help, we need to talk. And other professional help, we need to talk. But yeah, anyways, myself, I am doing good. A little chaotic right now. Life, or just a little chaos, a little not really chaotic, but just like, we ask for these things and we want these things and they come into play, and you just never know in what areas the rest of your life will be shaken up in. And for me, that's just like setting a schedule. I swear I'm just constantly, like, I have a schedule, but I have a very open, loose end schedule. And I have had that for the last 3 years of how I do things, because it just really works for me. And yeah, again, like, we start asking for things like traveling and being able to do these things and move around, but we do not consider where it's gonna make us lack in the rest of our lives. So yeah, I am bulk recording currently and just trying to get all of this shit out, because I already know once I'm on the go, it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna get done. And that's just like, it's okay. It's okay. And again, like, I know I'm gonna be on the move, so I'm not even gonna play with myself and try to get my hopes up. I'm just gonna be okay with not getting it done. Sometimes adulting is simply just that, like, having the awareness that some shit is not going to get done, and that is okay. It's okay, especially when I'm doing shit that I asked to be able to do and like manifested or wanted to do, plan to fucking do, happy to fucking get away to go do. I'm not gonna regret that, but I do want to take care of the other things that I'm praying for and asking to take off. I want to make sure all of that stuff is done and just handled. And I mean, let me just say this again. I am going on vacation, and at some point of this this is gonna be like a spread out weeks thing, so it's gonna just be a little chaotic, going back and forth, being on track and getting back off track, like. And then I don't know about anyone else, but every time when I come back home, I need about 3 weeks to get back on track. So that's about a month. That's sad. That's sad, but that's how it happens. And I am literally in this phase of unlearning, pitying myself, or just constantly like, but maybe because also becoming a mom, like, just, I think that kind of like turns it up a notch. And then I guess if you keep having kids, it probably keeps turning that shit up another notch. But right now, it's just turned up a notch where it's like a lot of stuff gives you anxiety, and most of the stuff I know how to work through or whatever, but I'm aware of what it causes, right? But I'm in this phase of just trying to unlearn, like, feeling bad for the shit I didn't get done, because guess what? A lot of the times we spend so much fucking time, excuse my language, if you're new here, hey, the E is for enjoy the explicit. No, I'm just kidding. There's worse. Y'all, I didn't even know you could say the B word on TV. I don't even use the B word like that, y'all. But they be saying that on TV, and I can't believe that. Anyways, but yeah, the E is for a little explicit. Sometimes I try to use better verbiage, but it's okay. Just bear with me. I mean, no harm. But yeah, I'm trying to unlearn, like, feeling bad for myself, because we spend so much time feeling bad for ourselves and crying about things. And I do think you need the time to, quickly grieve things that aren't happening or working out. But you also need to spend more time figuring out how to move past that, because you get another chance to do it. There's going to be another day, another week, another month. Now, if you have deadlines, hopefully you're in a stage, especially as an adult, hopefully you're in a stage where, or in a good point in your life where you can try to prep for shit earlier on than last minute if it has a due date of some type of sort. Yeah, I don't know. You just try again another time. That's what I'm just trying to master. I'll try again another time, okay? Especially if there's things like, I just want to be better at a lot of things, but if it's not some of those things that are, that I'm just really trying to crack down on being better at, I will have another chance to handle that. So I'm not gonna obsess and depress myself over what's not working out for me. And because this is something, again, like, this is an everyday battle for everyone. Again, I'm seeing this shit crossing my perfectly curated timeline, and I can't tell you how depressing it is sometimes. And I don't want to sound too big-headed or big-mouthed when I say this, but to sit and record a 3-minute video on why you depressed and lonely and stuff to strangers, sometimes it's a little strange. I know we all are just, hey, you lonely. Who's gonna say it? Like, who's gonna sit and listen to you? But I just wish we could record those videos and keep them in the vault. That's okay. Nothing is wrong with a video diary. It's actually a great idea, and I think a great practice. Really. Because at least you're saying it to yourself. You can go back and go reflect, months, weeks, or years later. But otherwise, you're just leaving yourself open for the strangers on the internet who are bored and waiting to comment on your life and your journey. And it's up for it. Once you put it on the internet, it's just there forever. So then when you are happy, the first time that somebody gets a chance to, they're gonna bring up that shit from February 13th of 2011 and that post or that tweet. Y'all know people love looking up your old tweets. But yeah, this is how today's episode was born. But what I want, even for myself, again, this is something I'm learning too, and I have to remind myself, no one gives a fuck. They don't. Everything keeps going, world keeps turning, sun's gonna keep rising and setting. Shit's gonna keep going. So do you. So wrap it up and change the narrative. It's getting old. It's tiring, actually. But before we get into changing the narrative, let's get into this week's Gotta Have It. This week's Gotta Have It is not a supplement, and it's not sleep, and it's not a peace of mind. It's not that. It actually is a drink, a caffeinated drink, a tea, a natural tea, an organic tea in today's case. But I do not want to mess this up, but I believe it is said or pronounced as your yerba mate. Yerba mate tea, and it is a tea from South America. I'm sure they grow it a bunch of places now, but it has a lot of history in South America and a lot of rich history. You can look into that on your own time. But so I never really been like a caffeine girly, right? But I like to have a pre-workout sometimes. Lately I've kind of been off of it because even though I had like what I call a baby addiction to Celsius, like I will drink that before the gym, right? Well, I don't know what's going on, but I don't know if it's the videos, seeing all the videos in the past. It's been a while since I've seen any. But I'm pretty sure Celsius started giving me little small heart palpitations and shit. So yeah, we're just steering clear of that. I have to break up with it. I really do. But I've been on this search for other things. Another caffeinated drink I like is chai tea because it's natural and it's really damn good. An oat milk chai latte. But you can't really drink that before the gym. Like you could, but no, that's like I'm sipping, I'm riding in the car, I'm at the house, I'm chilling, I'm relaxing, I'm going to go spend some money, pay some bills or something, like it's a comfort drink. Well, and I also tried green tea, which green tea is like a hit or miss for me. I don't know if people are using fake leaves or whatever, but sometimes it just overstimulates my body, and instead of giving me the energy, it shuts me down. And it gives me like a really bad migraine or something. So I just stay clear of that one. But I came across this in one of my herb books and I'm like, okay, let me try this. I love it. First of all, it tastes really good with or without a sweetener. I honestly prefer it with like a squeeze of lime juice, a lot, like half a lime. I would put the whole lime, honestly, but I just half a lime. And agave, a little bit of agave or how much you want, because that's your business. Agave is amazing for you, but it's a little pricey, so don't be putting like a tablespoon up in there or something, just a little bit. It really tastes so nice and smooth and just like the right amount of earthy, right? And of course, once you put the lime juice in there and stuff, it kind of tweaks it, but it still has that earthy flavor and it's so good. There are so many benefits outside of it being like a natural like a natural source. Coffee is good for you, but besides like, I guess I didn't really say why I'm not a fan of caffeine. So I think I just have a teacher thing about it, because growing up, all of my teachers, they drink coffee and their teeth were so yellow or brown, like the coffee tint, like you have coffee teeth. So that might be like is like, I know that sounds so blah, but things like that, like people have things about stupid shit, right? This might be stupid to somebody else, but people do things, or like I see something about someone and it's embedded in my mind forever, and I just don't I don't like it. I don't want nothing to do with it. And that's kind of been one of those things. And I mean, to the fact of like, sometimes you'll go to different coffee shops and shit, and people just mess up your drinks, and they give you coffee, like a coffee latte instead of a chai latte or whatever. Completely damn different. I don't know how they mess it up, but they mess it up a lot. That happens, and it's like it makes me want to throw away the whole drink. It doesn't matter what's on it, how much, whatever. I can't deal with it. But the teas, I love tea. I love tea. I love tea. I can make you a really nice glass of tea. But I will have to say this right now is probably like one of my favorites to sip on, especially because again, it's natural. It comes from a real tree. I mean, that sounds so basic. It comes from a real tree, but I don't think that there are many forms of a synthetic form of this plant, let alone versions of this tea. And it just makes you feel good. It gives you like the right amount of energy, and it lasts for, at least for me, 1 cup will last me at least 4 to 6 hours. That might not be the same for somebody that drinks coffee all the time. It might be a little bit different because your body will need to adjust and stuff like that. But this is a better natural alternative, okay? And outside of like the energy and caffeine and it being this wonderful plant and having this rich history and things like that, it does have a, I guess, like super high, or I don't know how to say it, like it's also known for like weight loss and concentration and literally rewiring your brain if you have ADHD. I think that's, yeah, so many benefits. Oh, and also digestion issues. If you experience any of that, it will be great for that. Your skin, it's just really good. So good that the South Americans were trading it, and just there's a lot of history on it. Maybe I will tag this video. I mean, this episode won't be recorded, so I will tag some resources for you guys in the bottom to get some. And I would highly recommend, instead of getting it from a store, unless it is a store that sells fresh herbs and you know that they have some really good and sustainably sourced shit, even if it's not organic all the way. They have a great not producer, vendor. It comes from a great source. Get it. If not, I always get mine from natural grocers because they are amazing. And the bag of the Lucy, I think it's about like a pound or so. It's either like a pound or half a pound of the loose leaf for $4 or $5, and you can't beat that. You can't beat that. So go get that. Also, this ain't a plug because I'm not even that big or anything yet. I do use natural grocers a lot. Not for a lot of things. I know a lot of people think they're so high, but just go to the produce or go to their dry goods area or their bulk area, and they have some in the freezer section. That stuff is reasonably priced, and it's cheaper than Whole Foods. It's better quality than Whole Foods, actually, and it's just amazing. So if you're in, I know they have natural grocers, Texas, Colorado, I don't know where else, probably New Mexico, other places, but check it out because they have a lot of good things. Now, if you want to venture out into the other aisles and get all the box stuff, yeah, you might pay a little bit for that, but outside of that, they have great bulk items and a lot of organic, affordable things. When people be saying like organic shit is high, I just know that they are immediately going to like the boxed organic processed stuff, because really, to eat clean, besides like, for some reason, asparagus and broccoli are just always high. I don't know why, but all the other stuff you can get for at least, under $2 a pound. And with inflation, that's kind of really good. Check out your Asian marts too. I love a good Asian mart, H Mart, or Hong Kong Mart or like something. They're so amazing. And you could just check that out and it'll be awesome. But yeah, definitely get you some. And I also want to say, as far as the overall feeling, it really is uplifting. And if you do take pre-workouts, I think it's worth not taking a pre-workout supplement that's made of like a bunch of things. I love pre-workouts, I'm not gonna lie, but we got to get off that shit because we don't know the long-term effects of that. And nature has given us really great options if we're open to finding them that aren't produced in factories. So yeah, check that out. But anyways, enough of that. Let's go ahead and get into Soul Search. So as we walk into the show today in Soul Search, I would like for all of us to stop sitting in our shit, or whatever that saying is, because there's nothing there for us but shit, and that's not fun. It's not. Like I mentioned earlier, somehow these videos keep coming on my timeline of women in their late 20s to 30s, and the common conversation is, I'm bored, I'm lonely, I don't know what to do with myself, I don't got no man. That's what I hear. That's all I be hearing. And as I always just state and give the heads up on, is I am on this journey with y'all, okay? So when I say these things, I'm saying them not only to you, I'm saying it to myself as well. But this is not one of those things I struggle with, and I have never struggled with. And I think it's because of my mother. That's a whole nother subject for another day. But we have to come out of these holes. That's the first step. Because guess what? You're going to sink. And nobody's going to be coming to help you while you're sinking. Maybe when it's close to when you were almost down that hole and you are close and you're at your damn near at your breaking point, but never early on. And, you know, there's a common conversation of, especially with colored women. I don't mean to say it like colored women, like a little old white lady, but with women of color, because that's what we are, and we're not just black, brown, or whatever little damn labels they have tried to put onto us. But nobody's definitely not coming for us, and a lot of times we don't know how to ask for what we need or how to seek what we need, and how to speak up for what we need, because we don't even know. So you have to try to catch it early on and speak up on it early on. But there's no reason we need to be sinking in these holes. Some of us are crying on social media, and I mean, we all see and feel the loneliness and desperation at that point. And I just said earlier why I think that's desperation, because if anything, like, we don't know these people, and a lot of times that's great, right? It's great because you can build a different audience, you can do all of these things. But realistically, outside of that, the greatness part of it, the internet is forever, and a lot of times outsiders don't want to see other people happy. So anytime you start to progress or whatever, somebody's going to constantly be a reminder of when you were down bad mentally. So I don't know why that's becoming a thing, outside of the fact that it could be used as a video diary entry or something like that. Like, the other question that I always immediately think is like, Is it loneliness or is it self-sabotage? Like, are we really lonely, or we just have not like figured out what we like to do outside of turning up with our friends, going to school, going to work, seeking a boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, or wife? Is it loneliness or is it self-sabotage because you ain't figured out what the fuck you like? And again, I have to ask myself this question a lot as well, because again, the awareness. When you have the awareness, you start questioning things. Like, people always talk about like the one quiet friend is sitting back like observing shit. No, homegirl's just is aware as hell and just like, is this shit actually aligning with what I really want? And honestly, I feel like, especially the last few times I've been in like a club environment, when you look around, besides the people that are like, Snapchatting or Instagram storying their whole night out, or vlogging, or whatever you want to do, like on their phone, most people kind of like are weird, and they don't really even know like why they're there if they're not really enjoying the function. Next time you go out, look around and see who really enjoying the function. Look at it, because you'll be surprised. And at least a couple of people out of your group are going to be looking crazy. But like, we are all guilty as fuck with this, and we need to do better. Because why are we crying on our phones to the internet? And at the same time, I never want to sound big-headed when I say these things, but somebody got it. Somebody have to be big mouth about it and just say, big mouth in a good way, but big mouth about it and just say like, why are we doing that? Look up some other shit. You just recorded a 3 to 4 to 5 minute long video expressing yourself. Look up some shit. Even if it's a doctor. You'd be surprised how much stuff you start typing in like one word and boom, exactly what you were about to search was looked up too 1,000,000 times, because everybody goes through it. But we need to be better. I never would have imagined like I remember when social media became a thing. I remember being on Twitter and being popping on Twitter and doing all of that stuff at some point. But I never would have imagined that like social media went from people having a good time to like everything is about profit, and then now everybody is about going viral. It used to be just about like, I'm sharing my good time, a couple of cute pics, random pics, a couple of pics of my food, and I'm a food poster or something. Like, here's my dog's paw print, like, a tree, a glass of ice, you know what I mean? Like, me and my mom, with a little razzle dazzle with your boyfriend on your page, something like that. But now it's just crazy. It's just crazy. I don't even know. I just don't even know. I couldn't have never predicted this state of just the way that I constantly am debating. Like, I could just delete all of this shit and just, the rest of the world's gonna keep going. The rest of the shit's gonna keep going. You're still gonna be able to go out and go find things. You're still gonna be able to go live life and do whatever you want to do. But you're gonna feel really bad and lost and shitty if you log off and you don't know nothing about life outside of that. And I think that's what's really happening, especially for, it seems like more like, wow, I don't think I'm a millennial, but I'm a 90s baby. Late 90s, not late 90s, mid 90s. Mid 90s, that's what we're gonna go with, mid 90s. And I'm not lonely like that. That's all I gotta say. But also because I do realize a lot of people haven't had their bubbles popped about like how like the people that they see on these apps, the people that they um are part of cult followings to in real life. So they really are living through these people post things and moments, and that's okay too, even though I might not relate to it. But social media has taken us all by the balls and just twisted them so tight. And the way that you have to unlearn it is crazy, because the way that I'm unlearning not dealing with social media, I haven't been on Instagram in months at this point. I haven't I don't know, like Twitter is like, it's there. Every now and again you got a random thought you want to get out. Twitter has a better place because it's like you can just tweet a quick little thought or whatever you call it now, because Elon Musk has turned it into X and not Twitter anymore, but it's Twitter for me forever, for life. Twitter for life. So I'm a tweet for life. But the other thing is, like, if you pay attention, people, and of course I'm guilty of it too, because it's gonna be a habit that takes a lot of unlearning, feeling like I need to record everything. That's kind of why I deleted Instagram, because it's like, first of all, they kept shadow banning me every time I post something about being plant-based, or I post, like, during the pandemic I was like reposting George Floyd stuff, and just I would just post whatever, because that's before I was stupid for not really believing that well, we already know Facebook owns Instagram, but they were spying on everybody. And they also have everyone in the chokehold, because they have like the Facebook seller thing. So everyone's business, their own Facebook business or whatever. They've really dug into the culture, because that was our first addiction. I already wiped that shit clean. I already wiped freaking Facebook clean. And I had to make sure it's not even that it's wiped clean, but I deactivated it because, yeah, I used to be on there talk about everything in the damn 8th grade and then 9th grade, spelling with Q's and unnecessary periods and shit. Oh my God. Yeah, good times though. Good times. I love to look at the pictures, but I had to like download all of them and save them, because you don't need to be able to look me up. If you go look me up, it's too many of me, okay? And that's the scary part too. Like, there are other people with the same name as me. Like, it's just weird. The fucking world is weird. What people can, like, people just watching you is weird. Now that I know that you can look up someone's whole entire life on the internet, I don't know why it never really crossed my mind, but things are just very invasive. So it's just kind of like, that has really changed my mind. And over the years, like with social media, finding out those things, because I'm watching other people, grow and whatnot, and thinking I should try this and that when it comes to social media. But then if you look in those comment sections, some of these damn people out here scare me, because they are so invested. And then that's how I realized, like, a lot of people are living through like these people. That's why when they don't perform how they expect them to perform, your biggest fan just turned into your biggest hater, and they flip-flopping. Like, it's scary. But social media is just scary. And then now you can blow up overnight. Don't get stuck and caught up in trying to blow up. God damn. It's not gonna happen right away. And it takes a lot of work. Oh my God. Take it from someone, especially who has had the boutique and still have that. Like I have these things, all of these things, but one of the things that deters me from even, I don't want to say pouring into the businesses because it's not really that, but I don't want to be on social media even to represent my businesses because I just hate how repetitive and I don't know, it's just repetitive. But after years of hating TikTok, because my sister would send TikToks all the time, I finally made an account and I've been able to curate my own beautiful timeline, and it never fails me, and it's so perfect. Now, I would say, like, when I first made it a year ago, it was not really all of the like influencer TikTok shop shit that it is now, but it's still like you could block that out of your stuff because I have it blocked on my Soul and Grace page. So make sure y'all go follow me on Soul and Grace on TikTok for sure, because I be on there most of the time. Again, I do have the boundaries. Like, I only allow myself 15 minutes of social media time unless like I got stuff to post. Little baby steps, like little things, but I've been doing that for almost 2 years with the social media thing. But I still had like Instagram or whatnot. But now I don't, because yeah. I keep debating. Who knows? Maybe next month as we go into summer. Honestly, it's just not fun. It's not fun anymore. I remember when it used to be fun. But I did want to share some things or touch on some other topics. So yeah, let's go ahead and hop into that. Apparently, nearly 1 in 4 adults is saying that they are lonely. And there was another poll from the Healthy Minds monthly poll from the American Psychiatric Association, APA, earlier this year, which is crazy. It was interesting to read that because, earlier this year, I'm in March, so yeah, how much earlier? 30% of adults say that they have experienced feelings of loneliness at least once a week over the past year, while 10% say that they are lonely every day. Damn. That's the only thing I can really say. And I always wonder, like, why are people lonely? Why are people lonely? And if you ever feel lonely, you should question, why do you feel lonely? Because why are you lonely? Why are you lonely? Because I find, especially the older I get, it's like I really do enjoy doing more of the things that I like, and nothing's wrong with that. When I am with other people, it tends to deplete me. And I would imagine that's how it is for others, because even if you're on a good trip with your friends, family, whoever, it's all about what everyone wants. You know what I mean? So why are people lonely when they're only present with themselves in their lives? If you're someone that experiences loneliness, can you please think about this and maybe send me a response or something on what feels so lonely about being able to be present with yourself. Because I see that as a chance to do what I want to do and honor what I want to do, make myself feel good, do something for myself. So much of our time is spent doing and fulfilling others' needs. But what about us, right? Why are they lonely? Why are you lonely every day? And I don't want to say the generic, or the generic idea of like, you just need to be more active and eat. Now, that is true. A lot of times our systems react from the things we are eating and drinking and just our daily routine and activity by making us have depressive thoughts, and literally we're overloading. And that can make you feel lonely too. But I would love, if you are someone, I would love to hear your thoughts on, like, when do you feel the loneliest? What makes you feel lonely? Why do you feel lonely? Is there like something that reminds you you're lonely? Like, what is it? What is it? Because I really do want to understand. Now, I always will say, like, again, there are just things. I don't feel like I experienced loneliness because I came from like a full household in a way. And maybe I just didn't see, like, majority of me growing up. I guess I was almost 13 when she met my stepdad. Majority of that time, my mom was by herself outside of my dad during that time. So, and she never gave, I need a man, not even in a cocky, independent way. Just like, she was doing things that she wanted to do, and then she was taking care of us, and she was happy. She wasn't like, going out every weekend or just doing, like, she was not an attention seeker. So I tend to not be that way. And also, again, I come from a full household, so it's kind of like I got 2 sisters and I have a cousin. We're all females. It's like I'm never really lonely. We're not all in the same state, but I can talk to them. Now, not everyone has that, but for me, those are the things that kind of help me not be that way. And yeah, I don't know. I don't want to say it's like, oh, it's something I worked on, but it's definitely not something I've really struggled with. No. Lonely, no. Because I think my mom has said it, like, I tend to attract strays, like, all people from all walks of life, because I'm just entirely too nice and friendly sometimes, until you give me a reason not to be nice and friendly anymore. So then you just get cut off, and I just keep moving along with my life, and hopefully you do too. But I would love to hear anyone's, like, thoughts on that, because I really do want to understand. Now, in my notes, I did, like, note are you lonely also because you're possibly asking, praying, quote unquote, manifesting these things, but you don't know, like, you're only asking for this, whatever you want, generally, like, you're not being specific enough, you're not moving like you want this type of thing, person, or lifestyle, or feeling, or mental clarity. Like, you're not moving like you want these things. You aren't changing the things. You aren't changing the that sounds so damn country. You aren't, oh my God, Jesus, the Texas. But you are, like, acting on the shit that you want because you don't really know what it is, and that's okay too, but you asking for it and you're praying for it. And so a lot of times, a lot of people, until they, like, break the barriers and do some mushrooms and ayahuasca and shit and realize, like, that things aren't magical in the sense without the work or whatever. A lot of times we just think when we ask for these things, they're supposed to happen, and we're just waiting, and then we become sad or let down when these things don't become what we expected them to be. And this could again apply to like friends, partners, life, it just everything, whatever area you want to put it into. Like, is that a thing? Because I think it is. I think it is, because how are you praying for something but you are not? It is really not a joke or a lie that if you not fake it till you make it, but you put yourself in the places or around the people on whatever level you can do that. So that doesn't mean like you got to go get a membership somewhere or something like this high-end club to be around better people or whatever, but find ways that you can get around these people, whether it's like just a shopping center in this area, group classes or experiences or something in that area. Figure out a way to get around these damn people or whatever it is that you want. Figure out a way to get around it. So it's not really faking it till you make it, but walk like you actually have the things. And maybe you won't feel depressed, let down, lonely. Now I really just think, as far as the partner thing go, I just really want people to just focus on yourself. That's the best thing you can do to attract the person that you want. Focus on yourself and get to know yourself and figure out what do you actually want, because nobody tells us that. Nobody tells us that. They're like, oh, fine, security, financials, but you could do a little bit more manifesting if you know what type of person you want and where you want them to be and not how you want them to be, because you cannot mold anyone, but maybe like the morals or their beliefs and stuff, like how you want them to align with you. But otherwise, you don't need to be worrying about dating. You need to be worrying about you, because you worrying about you will make you better for whoever you potentially date or meet or marry in the future. That's as simple as that goes. Now, and lastly, the other thing that I thought in the first season, we talked about the soul versus ego is the episode. If you have not listened to that, go listen to it after this, or go listen to it right now so that you understand what it means to either be operating from your soul or operating from your ego. Because this will make more sense. I think it would be easier to not sulk and just be sad and depressed if we did not crave change from our ego. When we are craving change from our ego, that is that I expect it to happen to me because it's supposed to happen to me. That's not good. And that's why it's not happening for you. And it's really this is not no holistic, spiritual mumbo jumbo. Is not happening because you're too big-headed and you're really just working from ego. you're doing everything but what it takes for you to get to where or what you're asking for. So next time, I suggest, I think it's on a TikTok, and I don't know if I haven't edited this full audio, but I clipped it on TikTok, and it is the video where I am sitting on my stairs or something, like going down the stairs. But on that clip, I say something about, like, before you go asking like the universe for shit, figure out what you really want, because you need to be specific, very specific. And sometimes being very specific, it takes a lot of time and trial and error and learning curves. So that's okay. And that's more understanding, that is like working from your soul. Because ego is not trying to go through that whole phase. Ego is going to be telling you you deserve it, no matter what little work or whatever. Even if you do a lot of work and it doesn't work out, ego is going to fuck you up, because you're just not going to be able to understand why. So yeah, go listen to soul versus ego if you don't know the difference, because there's a difference. And next time you find yourself being a little sad, ask yourself, is it just ego that's disappointed in a realistic, basic ass outcome? Because a lot of times, y'all, why do we get so disappointed? It's like, okay, it didn't work out. That was a possibility. I knew that. We could save ourselves so much. Or again, it's okay to like grieve shit and just be upset for a little bit, but to hold on to it, you're literally shedding years off your life. Another reason why craving change from your ego is crazy to me is because we expect happiness, fun, love, life, and experiences to be given to us, and these things are not just like handed to us. Now it's fun when like you're in a crazy place and some crazy shit happened and it just turned out to be the greatest day. That's amazing. But nothing's going to save you. Nothing's gonna bring it to you. You need to put yourself in the right place, or go find it. Figure it out. It's sad hearing women say, I don't know, I do get outgrowing the club, because I feel like every time I'd have been in a club since I don't know, just like really with the pandemic and stuff, and like I started clubbing and concert hopping and doing all that stuff at what I feel like was such a young age. It's just like I just want to have a good experience, a little bougie experience sometimes, but I just want to have a good experience. I want to have a little drink. I want to have a vibe. I want to dance. I want to sing. I want to hear good music. Oh, it's so hard to find good music nowadays, but a lot of the times you just be in a space and it's like, okay, cool, but if you're not playing the music I want to hear, it's not fun. So yeah, then it's just like, boo. And you outgrow those things. You do. You really do. You know what's more fun? I've been loving like these live DJ little concert things you can buy tickets to now. That is really fun. Again, it's an experience. I always meet random people the whole night, like we're hanging out, boom, 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 and then boom, I just go home. I never talk to these people ever again. It was just a good time, free drinks, whatever, a good night. But I'm going to these things by myself. I'm not waiting for anyone. A lot of times, I'm just more comfortable doing that now because it's like I just don't like negotiating or trying to come to one on figure out of what everybody wants to do. It is exhausting. So yeah, it's just always more fun doing shit by myself because I don't have to worry about what anyone else wants to do. And I say that in the lightest, happiest, nicest way ever. I don't have to worry about anyone else wants to do. I want to do it. I want to try it. Never tried it. Okay, cool. Boom. I can do it. I don't want to discuss and try to sell this idea to anyone else, and that is okay. That is okay. It's 100% okay. People should actually feel more comfortable that a friend will tell them, oh no, I'll just do that by myself because this is why I would do it. Especially if the friend is like, oh, I don't want to do it. Like, I don't really want to do that. We should do this. You should automatically understand y'all are not on the same terms when it comes to that. Next, let's try something else. I'm going to do it by myself. That shouldn't hurt your feelings. We're not children. But, yep, none of this shit is handed to us. Get outside, get in the field. Check out what's going on in the world. And that is going to go ahead and walk us into Queen, where we're going to discuss getting in the field because we can't sit here anymore. And it's warming up outside. That don't make any sense. Okay? We're getting out. This year we're getting out. Okay? See, now I'm gonna need for y'all to start. Hopefully you already been just trying to walk and stay in a decent little shape, because it's gonna be a hot summer. I'm telling you all that right now. It's gonna be a hot summer. Every time we get a little peak of spring and it heats up to high 70s, it feels like 90. So yeah, it's gonna be a hot summer. You're not gonna want to wear no clothes, because that's what I'm prepping for. I am prepping to wear the least amount of clothes because I know it's gonna be hot. But this summer and spring and the rest of the year on, we are taking our asses outside and we are doing the things. There is no reason that you should be saying you don't know what you like or everything is depressing you. There are so many different things to try, and you would be surprised what is in your neighborhood. You really would. I'm not even talking about like malls and stuff or like what's in your city. I know everybody, social media has us like so convinced, like it's so easy to travel all the time. Everyone could be a travel influencer, blah, 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 blah. People are really, I guess, like we could say that there's a history of like people, a lot of families having yearly trips or whatever, common trips, but to be on a flight every month unless you literally work and your job is comping that, or you have the flight miles and all of that, is so unrealistic. Now, getting on a Greyhound or a little train or a little something like that, that's kind of realistic, but everybody's really not on vacation every day. We're in a different time. And I do feel like there's also a pressure of that nowadays. Because like I said, I'm sure everybody gets setback, but everyone has different vacation setbacks than me. It's not 3 weeks. but it happens. But everyone's not like traveling and in the club in the section all the time. They're just not. Or eating at an Instagram, TikTok famous restaurant. Okay? You'd be surprised where you find some good ass food. Everything is not about getting a picture. It's not about, I don't know. It is about a vibe for sure, especially with the cost right now. Shit better taste good and I better be vibing. Okay? Views better be immaculate. Everything better be 5 stars in this climate. But act on the things that you want and crave. Like if your mind is clearly okay, maybe in this case, because we're saying like someone who's saying they just don't know what really excites them anymore. You're gonna have to like do some trial and error shit. You're gonna have to look and see what's available in your area. What activities? What have you tried? What haven't you tried? I know for some it'll be like, oh well, the price point. Depending on what we're talking about, like it might not be like a public establishment or something, but like your local like recreation center has a ton of fucking activities and resources, adult classes and groups and stuff, and you also can get them to pay for it if you email them and ask them for the um it's not like a voucher, but it's like a credit or something. But there are so many benefits with that. Your library, you have a library card, that can get you into a lot of places for free with the guest or whoever, or just different events. Freaking, you're gonna have to find different things. You're gonna have to look on Eventbrite, see what's going on Eventbrite. There are always thousands of things on going on. There are a lot of things on Eventbrite. Check it out if you're in like a rural area or something like that. I'm not too sure, but look that shit up and see what's going on in your area. Hashtag it on anything, TikTok, Twitter, whatever, because people are always promoting things that they are hosting or doing in your area or surrounding areas or in states that you would like to go to or have been to or live in. So definitely check it out. If you don't know, go find out. Google is your best friend. Google is your best friend. Google is even your best friend to figure out how to get funds for paying for some of these things, but go figure it out, because the clubs and spas and all of that stuff, and I believe me, I love a good spa, but you got to find other stuff to do. It gets played out. What makes you happy? What are you content with doing? Or figure out a routine or what activities that can keep you content and happy and not depressed. And yeah, then make a couple of friends and all of those different things and events and see how that comes together. It sounds so simple, right? You can do it. And seriously look into the resources. Also, don't be afraid to ask your family or your friends or mom, dad, cousin, uncle, anybody that has ever given you some money at some point. Let them help you, and they will help you. Or maybe they won't. And then you have to find other funds or way. But make it happen, because it can. Another thing that I would like to note, especially in this time of inflation hitting every aspect of our lives, the things that you want, like the lifestyle as far as like health and stuff like that, it's not unattainable at all. You are just going to have to prioritize the things that you need, because at this point They are not wants. Some of them are needs. Now, the materialistic stuff, those are wants. The makeup and all of that stuff, those are wants. If you clean up how you eat and do all of that stuff, you will have the glass skin, the glowy skin, the perfect, tight, pored, close, high cheek, everything. Like, there are natural ways to achieve these things besides the makeup and all the layers. Okay. So prioritize your needs at this point. That means setting aside the time to make lists, which are no fun, but they kind of can be fun. They could be kind of fun, like especially if you got a little iPhone or something. I'm sure Android has the best notes too, because Samsung don't play. But make you a list and figure this shit out. You can work through it. You don't have to be depressed going through it. Some things just take preparation. And that's, for me, that's been the best way to combat um shit that disrupts my spirit and my world and my mind in that moment when I'm hit with it. Just prepare for it. Once I know about it, start to prepare for it. Because if I wait till last minute to prepare for it, I'm going to break down and do option F, fuck up everything that I've worked for. So preparation. Grocery list, figure out what you need from there, not the stuff. Shop around the outside of the store. Shop around the outside of the store. You don't need the processed stuff anyways, unless you want to keep having those depressive thoughts. And that's just real. Make your grocery list and then make a list of things that you would want to do. I'm trying to think, like, whatever your expenses are, like some real adulting shit, like list out all of your expenses, your groceries, figure that out. That's different from your um like figuring out what you want, budgeting what you want in that aspect, but you can get the things that you want if you just prepare and know what you want. So you're going to have to make lists. You're going to have to be specific. And you're going to have to kind of be dedicated to those things just for the trial to see if they even work for a little while. Think of a 90-day trial or something. Honestly, you might have to think about that with people too. Friends, new friends, and new partners, or people that you date. Date Date without any expectations, because that dating is simply that. Date without your ego feeling like you have to own someone, because you are getting to know yourself and you're getting to know that person, and you can find out really quick if someone knows themselves when you're dating them, because they either have the awareness or they don't, and they will show that in many ways. So prioritize the things that you need, because these things, like, you need them so bad you would just die without them. So prioritize the things that you need versus what you want. You just want good food and a healthy lifestyle. You just want a fine, rich man. You just want to look good. But what do you need to attain those things? Figure that shit out, okay? Because we're not being sad about it anymore. We're not. As we close out the show, again, nobody's gonna care if you do any of this stuff. Nobody's gonna care. Even if you don't act on any of this stuff, hey, so what? You just listen to somebody talk about some shit you should do. We do that all the time. But you could test it out a little bit and see how it changed your life and literally how you respond to the rest of the shit outside of your mind, body, and household. Because it will affect and reflect a lot onto you. And I think it's life-changing. Life-changing. The little things that we could do and the little tweaks here and there can really help with so much. And look up the different signs and numbers and studies, especially if you are a woman of color. You need to be in the know of what is amongst us and what can happen and what the signs are and how you can prevent it. And the simplest answer to that is acting on all of these things and just taking care of your body. And taking care of your body is giving it exactly what it needs, whether it's like physical or mentally or, spiritually, whatever. Figure it out. Try it out. Don't be afraid. And just do it. Either you're going to like it or you don't like it. And then you move on. The world keeps turning. Don't talk yourself out of it. Self-sabotage is a bitch. See, I didn't even say the B word, but it's a big. And the only way you can be self-sabotage is by acting on the things and by not sabotaging things that you want to do. Sabotaging yourself. Psyching yourself out of shit. Talking yourself out of things. Talk yourself into things. Don't wait for friends or family or somebody else or somebody you want to date or whatever. Don't find out that way what you like and what you don't like. Find out on your own terms. And everything's going to be all right. Everything's going to be all right. But I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Thanks for listening to another episode of the Soul and Grace podcast. We will see you next week.